Hey, good morning, Luke. And since you're pretty much going to be the only one to see this, I just wanted to say that you look marvelous, absolutely marvelous here. I guess it's about 6:30 in the morning, and another one of my internal dialogues, basically to myself. And I'm a firm believer in that if you can get stuff out of your system, doesn't necessarily mean that you're crazy, or that you really need to have somebody 5 feet away from you, nodding their head with a pipe and a tweed jacket with patches on the elbows to get any benefit out of it. I think you just get things out of your system, and you can feel good about yourself. But anyway, so I do it not only for the historical value of family, friends, coworkers, and just deranged lunatics looking back at this 100 years from now, trying to get a sense for the pop culture and the essence of moi, but also just for my own twisted sense of egotistical gratification, as it were. Uh, anyway, was it what I want to talk about? Was I have various different little groups, little niches of the world in my Facebook account, which I definitely came too late in the game, but making up for lost times. And I have my sports world and my minion world and my the now kind of adding to my quote world. And I was thinking about quotes and just sermons in general, which is this is basically turning into. But that's okay. And I always remember growing up being an altar boy and going to church and just oh God, I used to hate when having to sit through like 10 minutes of a priest talking, and I mean even I hate to say it now, and they lose me after like 30 seconds. So I probably lost you. Let's see, I lost you about let's see 2 minutes and 10 seconds ago. But that's okay. But I just think it's hard to keep any type of focus. But the thing about the quotes is, you get like a little 30 second, not even 30 seconds, but maybe a 10-second window that you see it, you read it, you go, that's something to think about. But then you just kind of go about your merry way, forget about what you just read. But a lot of people have said, I think, everybody has said something very profound and deep, at least once or twice a day. But since we're not Maya Angelou or Yogi Berra or even Stephen Wright, nobody will nobody will be like making a blurb about it or remembering it forever. But I think it's interesting that if you can kind of I think repeated exposure to positive energy and it's almost like that saying, an object at rest will remain at rest, and the theory with your brain that if you're constantly being in my theory anyway, that if you're constantly exposed to positive thoughts and positive things about pushing forward and never giving up, that that can definitely have a positive effect as opposed to sometimes I do have a twisted sense of humor. I love to like kind of look at the opposite angle as well. But for the most part, I think that it's like a kid. Like I'll look at my own example, like in school, like day after day growing up, just hearing about just kind of a lot of negative all the time. So of course it's gonna have an effect on you. So if you're reading positive things like never giving up, keep sticking with it, and those things, well, because everybody has their struggles in life. But I often wonder too, do we make a big deal? I mean, life. I think we make too much of the things that we dwell on the bad things when a lot of times there are great things happening and we just don't we just choose to ignore those things, but we just really harp on the things that are kind of going bad. And we live in a culture where everything is psychoanalyzed and whatever. I mean, what did they do 100 years ago? They just sucked it up and just kept pushing forward, right? And it seems like we live in a world where everything is just taken to heart, and you need to go and just analyze things to death instead of just just pushing through it. And now this is just turning into just a whole bunch of nothing. But you got to realize it's like 6 in the morning, and I just woke up. But I think to sum up, a lot of a lot of what we're here on this world, I think, if you do look at it as a test and trying to push through the things that are hard, look at life as like a series of challenges instead of just supposedly everybody just kind of wants to just sit back and let good things happen. But it's all in your perspective too. It's like the grass is always greener on the other side. Here we go with the cliches again. But I think you just one of my favorite quotes there, I think, was must have been Arthur Ashe, I guess. Who, you start where you are. Like Tom Brady is on one level. Obviously I'm on another level. And then somebody's looking at me and going, geez, I wish I was like Lou. Or everybody's looking at somebody else and saying, geez, I wish I could be like that. But the common thread would be that you start where you are and just, keep pushing forward and aiming higher. I mean, how simple is that, And, if there's a reward on the other side of after in the afterlife, great. If not, well, so be it. So, as I've said before, make earth your heaven. Now that should be like a quote. Like when I'm dead and buried, it'll be like, Maya Angelou will have her quote, and then it'll be like, may earth be your heaven, Luke Gorham. All right, I'm done here for that. Talk about putting people to sleep. I think I might go back to sleep now. All right, I'm done. As usual, adios.